All right, we got ourselves a game here. So I'm going to do a little bit of coaching here. This is Ghost of 6 a.m. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Let's go 2x speed. Ghost of 6 a.m. is trying to get to 1500 elo. Right now he's at 1400. It's been as high as like 1450, 60, 80, somewhere like less than 15. And they're playing up against a player called No Hablo Taco. He's playing as the Romans, and their current elo right now is 1448. So what we want to look at is any kind of obvious mistakes. They're playing on Arena, so Arena is fairly straightforward in terms of what you're going to do most of the times, right? So you definitely want to scout. Scout was a little bit idle there. You want to push your deer in. You want to have 0 idle TC, or as close to 0 as possible. Right now at 5 seconds idle TC, so that's pretty good. And then I want to see mostly what your build is here. Hang on. So they shot the deer. I gotta go back. I gotta go back and see what happened here. I just looked away for like a second. All of a sudden the deer was dead. What killed the deer is the question. Okay, so we're gonna watch this. So they're pushing the deer in. So these villagers shoot the deer, and then they get clicked off there. So that's a mistake, obviously, right? It's just an accidental kind of thing. If you do that, you definitely want to go take that deer. You probably just didn't notice. So first mistake that we have here is go ahead and take the boar first, right? Before you take the deer, take the boar. If you do what you did there, where you take one deer and then you put them on the herdables, whatever, you end up making mistakes like that. So you have a rotting deer here. So that's a lot of meat that you're missing out, a lot of food there, right? So that's mistake number one. You notice it and you go ahead and you take it. This scout needs to be scouting or pushing in deer. So you just got a little bit, you got ahead of your skis a little bit there, a little too much going on at once. It's easier if you take the boar first. So take one boar, put all of the villagers on the boar. So I take all right. Let me back this up. What you want to do is take one cow, go ahead, build 6 or 7 villagers, take the boar, put them all on the boar, and then push the deer in and have 2 villagers take the deer, right? That way you don't have the situation that you just fell into there. So clean that up a little bit. That'll make life a lot easier if you do that. Your house is fine, wood fine, nothing really to worry about there. Idle TC, fine, 18 seconds. I mean, you can clean that up, but that's not the end of the world. So taking the boar now, taking the boar now is fine. There's nothing wrong with it as long as it doesn't screw up your other things, like taking the hunt. Like if you're taking the hunt there, it's gonna mess you up. Good garrison, good boar kill right under the town center, perfect. And at this point, if you're gonna not pay attention to your scout, just start using auto scout. You don't, especially on Arena, you don't need to get all fancy and always have the scout doing everything. So going on stone now, this is definitely too early to go on stone. Even if you're going up for, fast castle into a castle, you don't need to go on stone this early. You don't need to go on stone until feudal age. It's not like the end of the world, but you could very well be delaying some things by putting villagers on stone. How many are you putting on stone? 3? All right, let's see how it works out for you, but I think that's going to be too many. Cleaning that up will make a difference. More on stone, definitely do not need to put 5 on stone. And this might be you just had your gather point set to the stone. But yeah, 5 on stone is way too many this early. You could put 5 on stone when you're on your way up to castle age, and you'll have enough for a castle. That's not true. Maybe 4 on stone later on. There's some really good build orders you can find on YouTube. Okay, so idle TC, not bad, 20 seconds. What I'd rather see is you have more of a standard fast castle here, where you're just like your last 2 villagers go on gold, and these guys should all be on food or wood. And I want to see where you're going to click up. So your opponent clicked up at 25 villagers. You're at 25 and you're building 5 more. Okay. So you're at 26 and you haven't clicked up yet. And I think you might be auto-scouting here. Looks like you are auto-scouting. Yeah, that looks like you're auto-scouting, but maybe not. But either way, like, auto-scouting is fine. I watched the Faith to Adventure arena games, and what he does is he scouts his base, and then he scouts the outside of the map, and then he scouts the inside of the map, right? And I like the second lumber camp here. So 30 villagers are in queue, and then you're going up to Castle Age. So that's like a fast imp, right? Melee, which is what you're playing as Melee, they go up faster, so you can make more villagers. So like I'm not super familiar with like how to best optimize that, but you're still going to be, you know, I potentially a little slower to Castle Age. But I think with the Melee, maybe you can get away with more villagers. That still seems like a lot to me. I still think maybe you want to be on a little bit less. Also, you don't need 4 on gold here. You know, 2 on gold is all you need. You know, the goal is to get to Castle Age, right? You're playing Arena. The goal is to get to Castle Age. And if you're going to castle drop, that's fine. But look, you have 660 stone right now. Right, so it's just inefficient. You just have too many villagers on stone. Like you could, like if you want to go that early, okay, put 2 villagers on stone, and you'll have enough by the time you get to Castle Age. You know, like you're just. These are villagers who could be gathering food, because if you look at your food situation, and you look at your wood situation, right? You don't, you know, you're not quite where you need to be. You want to be building farms right now. But, I mean, to be honest, you don't really need to build, like, any farms to get to Castle Age. Like, there's enough food on the map where you can get to Castle Age. And these berries ran out. So it's usually nice to, like, start building farms with these villagers before the berries run out. I got this tip from, it might have been, like, Hera or something, I'm not sure. But the, if you build the farms like all at the same time, then you got to reseed them all at the same time, and it just makes it like your future economy a little bit worse. Also, you really want to take these straggler trees. So what I usually do is the 2 villagers coming out take the straggler trees. That seems to work pretty well. And so you have a little vill fight here. Let me go back. I mean, I'll take the Fog of War off now. So let's see what happens with this scout interaction. I'm curious who initiated it, and so he initiates it. So he initiates it, but you have your scout actually on aggressive stance, and you actually got the first hit in, so you would have won that. So in that case, you know, maybe you just didn't notice it, but in that case, you want to try to kill that scout if you can. Like even if your scout goes down to 1 HP, like you want to try to win that war best you can. But all right, fair enough. So you're gonna get to Castle Age a little bit slower than your opponent, but you do have more villagers, so the faster timing is better. And you're trying to drop a castle. It would appear. Now, if you killed this scout, this would have been better. And it looks like you sent 8 villagers. And you got to try to pay attention here. That gate, we'll talk about that gate. But yeah, these villagers, you really want them, like, when you hit castle to already be waiting here. Even if you go too early, you're better off going too early than you are going too late. And I don't know how often you play as the Melee. Maybe you play as them all the time. But he's going Siege Workshop. This secondary gate, I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it, I guess. I guess you want to build a wall here, and you want to find a way out. The high-level players, what they do is they just build all these buildings right on their exterior wall. Okay, so the castle, perfect location for the castle. And I like the spears just in case he has some scouts, which are pretty typical to have scouts. They're Romans, so you should be able to see the siege workshop. If not now, you'll see it very soon. And the siege workshop, he's got to make scorpions, obviously. Although right now he's making rams because he sees the castle going up. Okay, so now you have a siege workshop, backing this up, and I'm guessing you're going to build Karambit. You know, I mean, basically, when you're playing Arena, you want to have a plan, right? And it looks like you have a plan. Going on more stone. You get double bit axe now. Probably could have got that as soon as you hit Castle Age. Or on the way up to Castle Age, actually. That's where you want to get that. And okay, so you're planning on walling him in. Scorpions coming out. He was making rams. So there's rams in. There's 3 rams, 3 rams. Yep, and a bunch of scorpions out. Now the scorpions are. All right, so he's kind of throwing his couple of his scorpions away. And you're making... What are you making, actually? So you're making Corambits now. You really want to make Corambits a little bit earlier. They make they're built really quickly, so that's good. But you might as well have, you know, like 10 of them in the castle by the time he attacks or you attack. So it's a little bit of a timing thing. You know, Corambits are basically, you know, they're very fast, they're high attack, and very low HP, and pretty low armor. So they're really, like, they're quick hitters, right? They're really good raiding units. Oh, he just perfectly dodged that scorpion shot. Can one Corambit kill a scorpion? It can't, right? Well, I guess because of the minimum distance. But Romans have less minimum distance. Is that the thing? Yeah, minimum distance reduced on scorpions. Then the Corambits are running in. It's a Karambit gambit, as Derby Derbs always says to me. So you're in a pretty good situation here. You are repairing this castle. I'm guessing you're going to try to build another castle forward. I would say don't necessarily have to repair a castle that much. It's kind of a waste of resources. Like, you could actually just build another castle right now. You know, just trickle in castles closer if you wanted to. Yeah, right now I'm seeing like a little bit lack of a exact plan here. You have the castle forward, which is great. Took out, you know, some scorpions. You got in, did some damage. Yeah, but I think if you're gonna do a fast castle like this, you really want to get the Corambits out. How's your economy looking like back here? Economy's looking okay. Your idle TC times looks okay. You know, I mean, I like the idea of walling him in. I don't know if it's really doing a whole lot. I mean, it's just palisade wall, you can get through it. But see, if you have more Corambits in here, these Corambits can be killing these rams, right? So I think the reason why you're not able to make more Corambits is because you're mining stone and you're repairing with these villagers. All of these villagers should have been on this gold. That would have been better. Because the name of the game is to make units here and push. You know, this player's not like the highest level player. If you're going up against a better player, they would have 3 TCs back here, and they're booming this whole time, while defending with mangonels or scorpions, possibly, I suppose. Now he deleted that so he can try to get to deny this castle. You know, like to get to, past 1500, which I know is your goal. You have to think, okay, what would a 1700 be doing here? What would a 1600 be doing here? Or even a 1500 be doing here? And what they do is they build town centers, they don't panic, and they just let you stay there. So this castle forward, right, it's not like forward enough that it would make this player panic. Like if you have units back here, that makes him panic. And this castle's gonna get denied at 97%. Ouch. That's rough. And you had a big villager lead, and now it's completely wiped out just from this. So the other thing too, it's not easy, but recognize what's going on and back away, right? Now he's got some siege workshops here. So he's still just on 1 TC, but what he's doing right is he's not panicking. And I think, like, the forward castle, it just doesn't make sense if you're not going to build Corambits out of it. I know you're thinking the Corambits will die to the Scorpions. The Corambits, if you had enough Corambits, they're just going to run past the Scorpions into the economy or run past the Scorpions and kill the Scorpions. They have minimum range, so that's just a little bit of game knowledge, I guess. You just have to kind of be aware of that situation. And this is, like, I'm not much better player than you are, Ghost. Like I'm a little bit higher ELO, but, like, we play 1v1s, so we're probably trading games. So, like, it's just when you can see from, like, a bird's eye view, like the way I'm seeing in Capture Age here, that's what it is. And, again, just having these castles is not enough. These castles need units. And he decided to go into scouts. Scouts are not going to be any better against the Scorpions than the Karambits would be. And now you got him knocking at your base when you should be knocking at his base. So just kind of to recap here, what you really want to do is get one castle down, spam Corambits if you're the melee. Like, that just works. That just will work much better than being indecisive, right? Like the siege workshop, even I don't think the siege workshop's really necessary. Have these on gold over here instead of more stone. The castle's just there to make units and to protect your units. You don't need 2 there. Not right away. Like, if anything, what I would do, like, if you want to drop the second castle, mine the stone back here with, like, 3 or 4 villagers, and then have these villagers forward on this forward gold, and just spam Corambits. Once you have enough and you're, like, in his economy, then send these villagers that were on the gold, send them forward to build a castle right on his town center. Or, like, 2 of his town centers, because, like, a good player should have a couple. And, yeah, I mean, you have no answer to this. He absorbed all your best punches, and he's going for the forward castle. But this entire mess back here is avoided if your push is just stronger. Like, your timing was perfect. It was just the decision to go for more stone instead of gold and not make Corambits. And this is GG already. Let's just see what happens. And, I mean, you got some fight in you. I noticed that, like, the good players, like, they fight on, like, long after they should, right? All right, so that is one game here. I have another one of your games. All right, we got game 2 here. So I spent the whole, I just casted, like most of Dark Age, like half of Dark Age, and I was looking at the wrong player here. So might be. Let me go ahead and put on your Fog of War here. So, Ghost of 6 a.m. playing against King Sam 22. I didn't look up what King Sam 22 is here. Let me look up their ELO real quick. King Space Sam 22. So they are 1460. That's team 1508. Okay, so they're solid. They're up there. Let's just put that in. What did I say? 1508, and you're 1400 right now. Okay, and we're back, baby. All right, so good scouting. I like that you're using the cows to scout. You know, all you really need to scout on on Arena, is where is the boar, and get all your sheep or your cows, whatever it is. And now, so you're making the same mistake, and I know this is like part of like the way that you're playing Arabia or Arena. Go for the boar first. You have, especially on Arena, you have plenty of time. There's no rush to get these deer in. You can take the boar, and I know it's a pain. I know you don't want to do it, but you can get the boar in and then push the deer, right? Like as they're eating one of the boars, push in one of the deers, take 2 villagers, have them shoot the deer, go get the other boar. Because now look, it just gets so less efficient because you're not being able to actually push it in because your villagers want to shoot it. Just trust me on this one, 1000%. Take the boar first. You'll be much better off saving the hunt for later. And it's a lot to focus on, but what I do, just go there, send the vill, take 1 shot, click the vill on the other side, go to your scout, start pushing the deer, push the deer, go back here, garrison your vills, shoot the boar, go back to your scout, push it in. It takes like a few tries, but like it's not that difficult to do. And then you really want to save the cows for on the way up to Castle Age to take all of that meat. Like there's other ways to do it. Like I mean, there's really no like super benefit. You usually have enough food to go up, but I think it would just help you out. It'd make it a lot easier. And the mill go up on the berries. I've changed my mind on this. I think you want the mill, depending on how many villagers you're going to end up putting there. But I think on Arena, you're going to end up putting like 7 or more. Have the mill be 1 away from the berries, especially when it's like 2 like this. I've changed my mind. I used to be of the opposite mind, where it should be just exactly on it like that. I don't think that's right anymore. Because these villagers, if you look at them, they actually have these little inefficiencies. They bump into each other. When you're 1 away, they just walk back and forth a little bit easier. If you only have like 2 or 3, you're fine. Speaking of, though, you don't really want this many on berries that early. These guys could be here under your town center, taking the deer, the boar, and these guys here. So King Sam is on the way up soon. They're getting loom. Like you don't know what they're doing, but I'm just out of curiosity. They're going up. I don't know what they're doing. They got loom for some reason. Maybe they just didn't build a house. I don't know. And now, like right now, I don't know where if I can click on the boar here. Boar is there. You want to be going for the other boar, all right? Unless they're gonna do a castle drop again. Same thing as last vid. Like you just don't need this many on stone this early. You can wait. And I think I said this earlier, but like the top players, they'll build these houses. It's either one of 2 ways. Either just super close to their town center and they're not worried about space or anything, or right up against the walls. I don't know why. I don't know if it's better. I kind of think this makes sense too. Just have like a interior layer of walls. But the top players, they play like that, so. All right, and you're scouting their base. I'm guessing, again, you're going to do the castle drop. Which, I mean, castle drops on Arena are awesome. Like they work. Your idle TC time's looking good, 14 seconds. That's not terrible. And again, you're going up on like 29, 30 villagers, something like that. Let's see where you end up. Let's speed this up slightly. I don't think we're going to see any big changes right now. But now he's up, so that's got to give you some. So you got the first hit here, so you definitely want to run away. The only issue with running away now is he's in feudal age, so his scout's actually faster than yours. So you'll never run away fully. And now his scout's inside. That's going to be a problem. Do you have loom? You do not have loom. Oh, garrison. So if the scout's like this, like you can just fight him off. You do want to have loom, though. But this is bad because he sees that you're on stone. And you're on the way up at 29 villagers. And this he's just going to be annoying. And that was honestly just mostly unlucky. And a little bit of game recognition. Like, you just have to realize his scout's faster because he's in feudal age. So you're not going to be able to run away. So you might as well just fight him, do whatever damage you can. And he's just being a pest. Like, he already found out what he needs to find out. He knows what you got. Good job not overreacting to this scout, though, because it's very easy to overreact. Oh, he gets the kill, though. All right. So now you're up in feudal. And so you definitely, it's a little easy to get distracted. But what you want to do is have 2 villagers build this and 1 villager build the blacksmith, right? So 2 on the market, 1 on the blacksmith. Not have so many on stone. We already talked about that. Watch your idle vills. And these farms, maybe you need them because you built 29 villagers instead of like 26. That's 150 less food. But actually, no. Even with the extra villagers, these farms you didn't need yet, right? So, like, you want to seed farms, but you also want to take these trees first because you're not going to make very efficient farms. But instead of having like these farms here early, like that could just be villagers on getting more wood, and then you can build more farms. You don't necessarily need to build them early. Like, it's not a bad timing. Like, that's not a big deal. To me, the bigger thing is having as many on stone as you have. Like, you have 800 stone. It's just too much. You don't need 800 stone. And I know you're trying to do multiple castles, but I think you'd be much better off doing 1 castle and then doing Corambits. And you also don't want to be, like, in the habit of just, you can only castle drop and nothing else, right? And I think this is fine. Like, the gate here, second layer of protection, I think is all fine. And pretty good timing on Castle Age. I would like to see getting your upgrades, though. So, like, you want double bit axe, you want horse collar. Just because you're castle dropping, like, you still need to get those pretty early. You don't want to wait too long. And the pikemen, you already have the castle going up. Like, at this point, building pikemen, I know it's part of, like, your plan, but building pikemen at this point, what's it get you? You're going to be on the aggression, right? So pikemen, all they're doing is, or spearmen even, all they're doing really is taking up some resources that you could be using on Corambits. Corambits are awesome early units. Like, they have a super power spike early. So You know, I think that this strategy, I think can work, like at that 1400 level. You know, building one castle and then another one. But once you get, like, if you want to get higher, it just you need to just have the military out of this one. Like, build the Corambits here, have these guys on gold. It's the same type as last time. I mean, perfect castle placement. The palisade wall. I get it, like, if you don't want him to have his villagers run away, and I guess, like, maybe you've had issues, like, before where his villagers run away. Maybe just a couple of outposts would be better. It'd be a lot faster to build. It'd be less material. I mean, these things aren't cheap. Like, you got 36. This is like 100 plus wood. You know, maybe just like an outpost in front of this door. Maybe wall in the gate and build an outpost here. I don't know. Just something to kind of think about. And then at this point, like, there's no reason not to have, you know, 5 Karambits just running into this guy's base right now. And that's like what, like, the reason why he has his mangonels is because that's what he's expecting. He's like, okay, he's going to come in running in with, you know, some kind of unit. And the second castle here. Again, I mean, I don't hate it, but it's just, I feel like it's kind of redundant. I feel like it's holding you back from getting that, doing the damage that you need to do. Although it might be up in time to deny that castle, which is kind of on him. But the nice thing about the castle push, though, is it puts the pressure on your opponent. Like, it makes him have to react. But again, the really good players, so this guy's, you know, he's a 1500 plus. The really good players, they're adding economy behind here. You know, even this castle, a really good player wouldn't have put it here. But just castles with no army, I just don't like it. You know, but if you are going to go this route, at this point, I mean, the game is just to get to Imp and make Trebs. That's the game. You know, he's taking the economic approach here. Which, again, like all the good players, that's what they do. They just play defense. They know that you're overcommitted, and they build a second town center. The really good players build 3 or 4 town centers. I have a good video called like Vulcan Loop Saved by a Noob, and I'm the noob. And that's exactly what happens. He gets pressured by 2 players, and like 2 really good players. And he just builds a bunch of town centers and has mangonels, and just they can't kill him, and then I get to boom, and that's it. GG. And just, I mean, just no military. So you're just relying on only castles. Is that the strategy? And you're getting your eco upgrades. But it's just not enough pressure on him. You know, he built his castle, he's chilling back here, and he's focused on economy, and you're focused on getting more stone for another castle. And you have a siege workshop. Cool looking castle, though. I do like the look of that castle. Let's see how your economy is looking back here. Pretty good. 36-second ILTC is awesome. Like, that's not a problem for you. Like, you definitely are building villagers. And you're making monks. And you're going a second castle here, so it's like a wall of castles. And, I mean, typical defense here, he's got rams. He needs army to protect the rams. He only has 2 mangonels. He's like, I think you're overwhelming him a bit. But if you look at his res collected, he has 2,000 more res collected than you do at the same amount of villagers. Part of that is just because you had to walk from one side of the map to the other. Part of that is because you had to mine so much stone and build castles. So he put his Corambits. He made a bunch of Corambits. So you had your castles up earlier, and he has 10 Corambits out of 1 castle, and you have 0 out of 3. So let's see how you respond to this. And you just click the imp. So you're 2 minutes away from imp. Villagers are trying to attack these rams. He's got the Karambits in there. There's a huge bug on controller where you can't, like, evacuate your rams sometimes. And these Corambits should come in. They will die to the castle fire. So that's where having, like, the 2 protective castles is good. And you have your Corambits coming out, and you're killing them. Okay, so that's pretty solid. You're going to get to imp, and then at imp, he's probably just going to GG it, I'm guessing. If not, you'll be able to just Treb down his castles and everything. And he's making barracks back here, so he's probably going to plan on going, like, long swords. Which should do very well against the Corambits, I would think. I don't know what I don't really use Corambits a lot. So they have 1+4 pierce armor, 0+3 melee armor, and they're 7 attack. They're only 30 health, but they attack super fast. Like, the damage per second on a lot of units isn't really reflected always. So, like, you know, they're 7 attack, but they do it really fast. Alright, so, what are we going to do here is the plan. Treb out. Imp is on the way. You know, sometimes I say don't trickle Treb, but I think trickle Trebbing here is fine. Okay, so small mistake, but if you can build 2 Trebs, build them out of different TCs. Different castles, I mean. At this point, I mean, Trebs are kind of everything. As long as you have the Trebs, this should be a win. You did add a second TC back at your base, and your idle TC time is still pretty darn good. Now, a little thing here, but you could put a, you know, rebuild a lumber camp a little closer. This castle should go down. You have 3 Trebs on it. He cannot repair that. He's getting husbandry. I don't know what happened to him. He built a bunch of barracks and then deleted them and built stables instead. So he's trying to make knights. That's probably the move. I'm curious, the Corambits. Okay, so they don't have any, like, real bonus damage except for shock infantry, which he doesn't have any of. And yeah, these Corambits, they could just run down the mangonels. That shouldn't be a problem. I need you to kill all these villagers. I mean, this game's over right now. So, I mean, good job with the win. So here, I'll just let this kind of play out, and I'll just kind of say my thing. So I think this strategy that you have on Arena, I think it's not a bad strategy at all, and, like, the build order and everything is, like, not bad. The problem with it is there's a limit to it, right? Like, you're not going to get 1,500 doing this strategy, most likely, okay? I would say change it over to doing 1 castle, put those vills on gold, and then build Corambits. Everything else can stay the same. You know, even like the 29 villagers, the other stuff that I said. Putting the villagers on stone early, like all that. Like it's not ideal, I don't think, but I think it's fine. It's not the end of the world. But I would say just focus on getting one castle and Corambits early, and then have like 10 Corambits and just rush in. If you lose all of them, you lose all of them. Big deal, right? You know, even if you want to keep the second castle's good, maybe have like, you know, a handful of villagers on stone still. Like instead of sending the ones from stone forward, keep like 3 on stone and send like wood villagers forward. And then by the time your Corambits are done doing their thing, you'll have another 650 stone, do another castle. It's the same strategy as you're doing now, right? This guy's not gonna quit, huh? I'm gonna fast forward this. I mean, he's done. Like he's cooked. There's no reason to. Yeah, especially after that. And mixing in the pikes, I mean, it definitely is good. You kill some of your Trebs, you get the castle down. Like, yeah, I think just make that one little change. See how it works. See how it works. I think it's going to make a big difference. I think it's going to make a big difference in terms of, and that's the GG, in terms of, like, just getting easier early wins, right? Just get the Karambits, have them go to work. The castle drop timing is awesome. Like, your timing is really, really good. Just focus on getting some Karambits in there before focusing on the second castle. But GG. I hope I wasn't too harsh or nice. I hope I was accurate. And good luck on the 1500. I think we're going to see it soon. See ya.